Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, this is Kenyan revolutionary, your political dietitian, in for another session. We are going to delve into reasons or option that President William Samoei Ruto has left. As you can see, the topic is Ruto is going to resign soon or will be forced to flee. And here is why. Karibu sana, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving you a few minutes to get yourself situated. I hope I'm audible, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades. Ken Biru, karibu sana. I see you already. You know the first order of business. Ken Biru saying he was eagerly waiting to see how this will unfold. Najua mimi nabii. All right, we'll see. But I'm sure of two certain things that are about to happen regarding Ruto's future. And it doesn't take a prophet to see this. I can see it a mile away. Take your time. I will give you a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Settle down, like the video first so it can circulate in the algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, please feel free to do so. It's free. It won't cost you a thing. It won't cost you a cent. It won't cost you any effort. Just stretch your fingers and hit that subscribe button so we can get started. Today, something very interesting happened. Something that actually suggested to me that actually gave me confidence that Ruto's days as the president of the Republic of Kenya are numbered, rather. Numbered. Ruto is not going to stay for long, ladies and gentlemen. Macy M. Karibu sana, nice seeing you again. I hope you got the notification this time. Please, please, please make yourself in. Karibu, karibu, we're about to get started. Let me just recap for you, play you a few videos, and then we shall break down why Ruto is about to either flee from Kenya or resign. He will be forced to resign. Not out of his own volition, but he will do so because the situation will force him to do so. Okay? If he's humble enough. If he's not, he will definitely get into a private jet somewhere and flee. And I'll tell you why. So please like the video and subscribe. This is a meeting point where we discuss these things. We are not just ranting for the sake of ranting, but we are ranting with reason. Okay? And I will tell you why these things happen, despite the pogroms that has been happening at Githurai 44 today. I just had a young man has been shot down. His name is Zimmerman. Not to be confused with the guy from America, but this is a Kenyan guy who was shot. A young man who was making his way back home and he was shouting, "Tafadhali fungua, fungua." He was trying to get in the house, but the police opened fire and shot him down. I will tell you why something happening today when they call the military. When they call the military today, something very interesting happened. And if I'm Ruto, I'll start fueling that private jet and telling my pilot, stay on standby because we might be leaving anytime soon. I'll get to it. Let's get started and start by reporting what had happened. Let's get a recap of what had happened and the real news from the Twitter sphere, not the main news, but we shall start with the main, the main news. Remember, the majority of the main stations in Kenya were ordered not to report anything live regarding what was taking place at JKIA. There was something very, very interesting happening at JKIA. I'm telling you, Ruto is in trouble. He is in big, big, big trouble. Mutual Abraham, thank you. Thank you for coming in. Very, very true. Is my wish. It's not only a wish, my friend. I'll give you a reason why Ruto is about to leave. Vicky Hanel, nice meeting you. I am glad to see you again, my dear friend. Gypsy Corner, I see you reporting on duty. I'm so happy to see you. Vicky saying, hey, today I'm very sad. Police going people in their house in Zimmerman in Githurai. This very, very wrong. Where is his human rights? Absolutely. I'm about to address that too. Kabuda Karibu Skana is saying Ruto will not go anywhere. Fair enough. That's your maoni, but fair enough. Rosemary Nya is saying, hi, hello. I'll tell you why Ruto will not stay as the president of Kenya. I'll tell you. Let's start recap. Then I shall walk you down and give you reasons, concrete, pragmatic, realistic scenarios that will play out. That I'm telling you, Ruto, it will take a heavenly intervention for Ruto to stay in power. He can, but it will be very hard. He has to reach out to some people. And one of the people, this Gen Z constituency is the people he has to bow down to their demands, whether he likes it or not. And the people who are driving this movement, I will tell you, I will get to it. Macy's telling, shouldn't Human Rights Watch be active in Kenya? Yes, they are collecting evidence and so forth. My wish has been granted. Duale demoted to environment minister. Yes, Duale. Actually, there's also another angle to why Duale took that ministry and Ruto deployed his girlfriend, because of the threat of the things that happened today. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I don't know what I'm telling you. We're about to get in. Here we delve deep into the issues. It's not just news ya Jew, and then we start celebrating that Ruto. I will break it down for you. Francis Kimani, nice seeing you. This is serious business. So please hurry and subscribe, because we are about to get in. Deeply look at what happened, what really transpired, and why Ruto might be leaving very soon, either by resigning, dissolving the parliament, or fleeing from Kenya. Okay? I'm telling you, listen carefully. Let's start with the main street media and listen to what they had to report. The report, then we shall get to the Twitter sphere, and I will report to you what the local citizens reported from the streets. Okay, so let's get started. Get those likes up and subscription up, because we are about to get to the meats of the matter. Okay, all right, here it is. Let's listen to the local media. What the local media told us, the main street media, that is. This is Okwara, I think her name is, and she was reporting for Citizen, I believe. And
soon after the goons exited the central business district, hundreds of Gen Zs poured out onto the streets of Nairobi. Unlike previous protests where the group was dispersed by police using tear gas, water cannons, rubber bullets, and even live bullets, this time round, police watched from a distance as they went about their business. Nairobi Police Commander Adamson Bungei, who has been on the receiving end over police successes around the city, was among officers who interacted with the protesters.
Nairobi Central Business District youths who support the anti-government protests gathered in numbers, armed with the national flags, water bottles and phones, as it has been the norm. They took charge along major streets in the city, singing and dancing as they castigated the government over rampant corruption and poor governance. But unlike previous protests, where security officers used all manner of force to keep them off the streets by using tear gas, water cannons, and even bullets, this time round police offered round-the-clock security, driving in their midst. Others watched them from a distance as they roamed around the CBD. Nairobi Police Commander Adamson Bungei, who has been in the eye of storm over police excesses, was also captured interacting with the protesters in the city center. The protesters later converged at Dedan Kimathi's statue, where they honored his struggle to see Kenya attain independence by applying makeup on his face and giving him a whistle to blow. However, in the evening, police lobbed tear gas at the protesters to disperse them. The protesters slowed down business within the CBD as most traders remained at home. Shops remained closed, with a few matatu operators accessing the city center to ferry passengers into and out of the capital city.
A story was produced by Njoroge Gatete.
Okay, so that is what the main
In the
street.
next 30 seconds.
Sorry, guys. So that is that is what was reported to us by the Main Street media. Now, here is what's interesting. Please listen carefully. This is what happened on the ground. The reports that I'm hearing, and it's been on Twitter sphere. The news is circulating around. Now, here it is. I want you to listen very carefully. This is something that's very, very interesting that happened. So, the people, remember the people first went to the airport. Sindio? The people went to the airport. Karibu sana shimo sam. Karibu. The people converged at the airport, JKIA, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. That's where the people met. Kulikuwa na watu wengi. There were so many people. And remember, Ruto gave an order, called Citizen TV, KTN, and told them, do not show anything. But apparently, video footage of people who were there showed that the people overpowered the police and went inside the JKIA and started burning some aeroplanes. There are some aeroplanes that were burned to ashes. I will show you the clip. This is why. They from eyewitnesses, they were saying it was estimated more than 300 to 400 or 500 people showed up at JKIA. At first, the police started hitting them with the tear gas. Tear gas. They dispersed, then came back. Dispersed and came back. Are you listening? Subscribe. So they overpowered the police. And wengine wakaingia na huko nyuma, wakaingia, and they made their way, and some people burned some. I'll show you the footage. So this is what Ruto did. Ruto got nervous. Akatetemeka. Okay? Ruto sent the KDF, Kenya's Defense Force Army, wanajeshi. Let me explain to you. Oh, Shaba, I can feel it right now. Listen to me. I want you to listen to me. This is why Ruto is going home. Ruto sent the army to go towards the JKIA and secure the JKIA because the police was stretched at the JKIA. The police was stretched. They needed help. They could not contain a crowd of approximately 300 to 400 people. Approximately. Now, listen carefully. While they were doing that, something very crazy happened at I think it's called Pipeline Road or something, okay? Where there was a funny interaction. When the army got there, the KDF, Kenya Defense Force Army, got there. Walifika hapo. Wakaanza kuninio. They were patrolling. They were not shooting anything. They just showed their presence. When they got there, the police who were there, who were also overwhelmed, started gassing. Wanatupa tear gas. You saw even some police officers walikuwa wanatupa tear gas on the residential areas. Okay? Yes, pipeline. Unaendelewa? They started throwing tear gas at the pipeline. Unasikia? Listen to what is interesting after what happened next. When they started throwing this pipeline, the army, KDF, told the police to stop it. Told them, you cannot throw tear gas at the wananchi, at the residential houses. And in fact, it is said some of them had a talk with, what's his name? Bungei. Remember Bungei? They had a talk with Bungei, wakamwambia, you need to stop this nonsense. These are peaceful protesters. These are people sitting in their houses and you're throwing tear gas in their houses, making children cough. In fact, they were spraying that pink spray that is poisonous. So the army told the police, Mwache. In fact, it is reported that one police officer was slapped by an army officer until akaanza kuwa na nosebleed. They stopped the police, who were kind of irritated with the people because they had lost control of these people. They were helpless. There were so many people. So when they called the army, wakashikwa na ujasiri. Vile waliona army jeshi, police thought, okay, the army are here to protect us and to help us brutalize the wananchi. Instead, the army told them, these people are peaceful. You cannot lobby this poisonous tear gas at people's residential homes. Watoto wako hapo. In fact, they had to slap, allegedly, this is what I had, slap one of the police officers to a point where he started having a nosebleed to stop the brutalization of innocent protesters, wananchi. Are you listening? In fact, again, they reached out to Bungei and told Bungei, you need to stop this brutalizing the wananchi. That's why you see Bungei, when he was at downtown Apo Ivo, he was greeting people. And they were telling him, we are peaceful, we are peaceful. Remember, I'll show you the clip. Because I was wondering, once the army got there, the people started screaming, singing, saying, Jeshi, tunataka jeshi, tumependa jeshi, and they started praising and singing the army. It is because when the army got there, they told the police, you cannot shoot tear gas at people's residence. The army is with the people. The police are the one who are brutalizing the wananchi. You understand? So there is tension. There was tension between army and police. Munasikia? I'll show you I'll show you the clip which showed when the army got there, the people started singing praises to the jeshi and made it clear that it is the police who are brutalizing the wananchi. Listen to me. Another thing. Ole Kanchori even wrote on his Twitter page, and among others said, it is said that when Elden Duale was the Minister of Interior, or whatever the case is, he used to speak to army generals with contempt. They didn't like him. In fact, it is said that it is the reason because the army told Ruto that they did not want Elden Duale to be the head of the security. Let me break it down further. I know you might say that is hearsay, that is rumor. Ask yourself, why of all the people, why should Ruto choose someone who was an ex-girlfriend of his or his current girlfriend to head this head of security, who will be communicating with the army, with the generals? That is the most trusted person Ruto has besides Rachel or Charlene. Akaeka Demwake. Why do you think so? Why? Because, first of all, at first it was Duale as the head of security. Military said walikata. Wakasema, no, we are not having Duale anymore. Hatuwezi kuwa na Duale. Duale yako na madharau. Mnasikia? Listen to me. Listen to me. So I'm telling you something. The army are showing signs that they're not with Ruto. They're not intervening right now because this is a civilian issue. It is a civilian issue as it stands right now. It is a civilian problem. That's why the army is not intervening in the issue. But by all accounts, every time they've been called to intervene whenever there is a problem between our maninio security forces, our police, and the wananchi. The army always takes the side of the wananchi. Subscribe to the channel. I'm about to show you when they were the wananchi were actually praising the army force, the armed force, the KDF. I'll show you in a minute. Mko ready? That's why I'm telling you. It is believed that's why the army told Ruto, we don't want Aden Wale. They said it. They told him they don't want him. That's why he had to put his most trusted person that he can put there, which is his girlfriend. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel right immediately. I'm about to show you. This is not easy rumor anymore. The army stood up with the people. I'll show you. Let me show you that clip. I'll tell you. That's why I'm telling you. Ruto is in deep doo-doo. Here it is. Someone wrote it. Let me show you. Like immediately. Now subscribe immediately. We are getting deep into this, and I'm telling you why Ruto will not last. He has two options. Things that he can do. Listen to me. Yes. And Gypsy is confirming it's not rumor. This is what happened. People who are on the ground saw it. The army is with the people. The police are by themselves with Zakayo. That is why that head of police, head of police, was laughing with people after the army told him to stop. He cannot brutalize innocent, peaceful protesters. That is what the army told them. Subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe. Don't watch this video without subscribing. Please, we are getting into it, and I will bring people in a few minutes. Tafadhali, ingieni. Let me show you the video when people were welcoming the armed forces, the KDF, when they came to intervene. And when Ruto thought that the army will join the police in brutalizing the wananchi, the army stood up with the people and said, you cannot throw gas at innocent people at their residential houses. Stop it. Stop it, or we shall deal with you. You police, we shall deal with you. Yes. Police and your goons. Yes. I'm telling you. And it's the same army are the ones who say they don't want Duale. Anybody else but not Duale. So Ruto went ahead and chose his girlfriend to be the head of security. Cedric Kadala, he's not the only one. Here it is. Can you read it? Can you guys see it on the screen? Can you see it on the screen? Please go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. This is a meeting point where you shall have real news. Munaona. Okay. Sawa. Happening now. This was, of course, this was 8 hours ago. This was hours ago during the day. A standoff has ensued in pipeline between the police and KDF officers. The last time I checked, KDF means Kenya Defense Forces officers. After the KDF stopped police from lobbing tear gas in residential homes, one police officer has been slapped. One police officer has been slapped and his nose bleeding. Okay, you might say, oh, this is just a story. It can be corroborated. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how. Let's go down. Ngoja kidogo. You thought it's a joke, eh? You thought it was a joke. Okay, hold on for a second. I'll show. Keep on. This is Nairobi CBD. I'm coming to you. I'm coming. Please. We are going to deal with this. Subscribe immediately. Hold on. Mko sawa? Hold on. Kenyan military. Here is the Kenyan military. People were singing when the military came in because they knew the military was on their side. Listen to me carefully. Here is the video. Don't listen to the... Do you know, Main Street media was muzzled, told not to report on this. Mnasikia, they were muzzled, told don't you ever talk about this because they don't want to portray or have this idea that this government is weak. This government is actually weaker than you think. But let's watch. Here are wananchi when the Kenyan Army KDF forces were there.
Bro. Sisi tunatambua jeshi, hatuwatambui ndani huko. Sisi tunatambua jeshi, takataka nyinyi mnatupiga malizazi huku. Tuachieni hawa mapolisi hawa vijana wa blue wajinga hawa.
So let me give you context of what was happening. Apparently, that's, you remember, I don't know if you heard what they were screaming. The people were singing Jeshi, 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 meaning, for those of you who don't understand Swahili, means army, army, army. We want our army. Because literally a few minutes before that, that's when the incident happened, when the army got there and they started telling the police, stop lobbing tear gas in residential areas. And apparently one of the police officers was actually slapped by the army, member of the army. This is why they started screaming, Jeshi, Jeshi, Jeshi. In fact, some of them were saying, please, let's deal with this police officer while you guys were here. So, so I'm telling you, then not to stop there. That's one. Number two, they're moving Eden Duale from head of security to environment docket. It is said it is because of the army. The army told Zakayo that we are not going to work and take orders from Eden Duale. When he was the interior security of interior, this guy was treating army generals with contempt. And they said, no, we are not taking this. And they're speaking up. They're speaking up. Now, you might ask yourself, why are the army speaking up now? They're speaking up because they know and they understand that this government is under siege. They cannot threaten the army. The reason why I'm telling you this, the reason why the army hasn't intervened to remove Ruto yet, because things are still relatively peaceful. You understand what I'm saying? Relatively peaceful. In fact, some are saying if they continue, one day these guys, if they are called in the streets, they might not go back to the barracks. They might do what Ibrahim Traore did in Burkina Faso. I'm telling you. Listen carefully. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let me read this. Finches is telling me police were even firing tear gas in front of a girl carrying an infant. The girl made a mistake to appear in the scene. But if you want to know how brutal the police are, they are aware but still fired. Yes, I saw that clip. I can't show it because of YouTube have some restriction on that. So you understand what I'm saying? So let me tell you, let me break it down. Let me read Kanchori. Kanchori wrote something about this. If you think I'm playing, this is just one. I'll show you. It's open secret. I'm telling you. Ruto has lost his marbles. He's lost any kind of legitimacy. Total legitimacy. Ruto does not have it anymore. He does not have it. Oh, he does not have it anymore. And that's what you need if you want to rule. Listen to how Kanchori said it. Duale listen to this. Are you reading the screen? Can you see the screen? Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't show you. Let me show you the screen. Let me show you the screen really quick. Let me share the screen with you so you can read it with me while I read it. Tafadhali, subscribe. Don't waste time. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Read it with me. Can you see it there? Let me enlarge it so you can see it in case you can't see it. All right, iko hapo hivyo. Mnaisoma. Kanchori wrote this. Duale used to summon generals to his office like small boys and even occasionally lecture them. Totally unheard of in the past. Gen Z, mumesaidia mpaka jeshi. You are the real generals. In short, what I'm trying to say is the army were not said to have not been happy with Duale being picked as the head of security because of his past transgressions against the army general, lecturing him like little boys, showing them contempt. So they told Ruto, we do not want this guy. The army are not a fan of William Samoei Ruto. And I've told you, the only reason they haven't intervened, it is because the problem we are facing right now is a civilian problem. Hatujafika in the stage where there's chaos and there's war. No. Hatujafika your stage. Ndio ni maandamano. But things are escalating to that point. It is escalating. Unasikia? Ikifika pale, we get to a point where peace is not guaranteed. Then the army will step in and tell Ruto, toka. And I think he understands this. That's why you see now he brought that girlfriend of his to become the head of security. Unaona? So that's why I'm telling you, he is by himself. By himself. Okay. Gypsy Corner is telling history says that Ruto likes working with Somalian Kenyans because Eden Duale said that they need protection from Al-Shabaab. That might be true. I can't confirm, but that might be true. Jacinta Teresa says Ruto must be held accountable for lives lost. Absolutely. He must be held responsible. And he's well aware of that. Because, when I saw that video with that head of Ninio, akisalimia Maninio, I was asking myself, what made this guy change his mind? Mpaka saizi anasalimia ma protesters. What made him change his mind? This is not how they usually interact with the protesters. They usually deal with the protesters with great contempt. What's his name? Bungei, whatever his name is. Did you see that clip? Alikuwa anasalimia wana maandamano. And I was, what is going on? Something is not adding up. Can somebody explain to us what is going on? It didn't make sense to me. It did not. Maybe it did to you. But Bungei interacting with Wananinio was something I've never seen in my life. Let me show you. I think there's a clip. Can somebody help me? Bungei, can somebody people on the chat, please confirm with me. Did you see that clip where Bungei was actually greeting the protesters? Do you know why? Do you know why? Bungei yes. Bungei was told by the army to stop. Usijaribu. Do not try. Do not try. Yes. Hey. Ruto days and numbers. We are getting to the options that you have. Hey. Okay. Kale Katumbo man, something's cooking. Yes. Gypsy Corner is telling me, can you please play the video where Duale was given the message that he was the Minister of Environment by the Speaker? And Duale was rude and didn't accept the appointment. Did he? I'll find it. I'll find it very, very, very quickly. He must compensate for all victims, Mandamano, if not have to go. Yes. Gypsy say yes, he did. Ruto must go. Yes. Lynn, what's his name? Lynn, I saw that Tint man being nice to people. Yes. He was nice to people. There was I had it. Let me find it real quick. And I'll also find that Duale one. He was, when I saw Bungei missing anasalimia watu, I was like, what's going on? This is not normal. This is not normal. And we all know how these people usually treat people. Here it is. I think I have some. Yeah, I have one over here. Hey, Bungei. Ndio hiyo. Okay, look at this. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Please, don't forget. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Mara moja. This is where we shall be meeting and talking about things, how we can change our country. So like the video and subscribe. Let me show you Bungei. Bungei was told by the army, do not touch anyone who is peaceful. Usijaribu leo. Mumetuita hapa. Mumetuita hapa tulete amani. Tumefika hapa na kuna amani. So don't, Bungei wewe. Look at what he said. After he got that message, watch how he went and interacted with people. It was the army that came to protect the people. Watch Bungei. Tuangalie Bungei hapa. Watch it Bungei. Mnafikiri ni jokes. Angalieni. Let me show you. Here it is. Muliona hii video? Si muliona hii video? Yes. You saw he was interacting with the Maandamano people. Why do you think he did that? That was after the army told him that mumetuita hapa tuwasaidie, na so this is going to happen. Tumefika hapa, these people are peaceful. Let no one musitupe tear gas na msichape mtu. Don't do anything while we are here. Musijaribu. Don't. Please don't. Musijaribu. That's why I'm telling you, the army, I can say with no fear of contradiction, that the Kenyan Army Defense Forces is with the people. They're on the side of the people. And again, I will repeat, the only reason they haven't intervened or forcefully removed Ruto is because this is a civil political problem. Army comes in when there's no peace. They were called by the president through this useless National Assembly to come to the streets. And they came to the streets and they found that the Wananchi are peaceful. They found that the aggressor was the police, lobbing tear gases in residential areas. So what the army did, they told the police, mukiendelea na hii ujinga, tutawafinya. Stop it. Stop it. You are the one who is causing fracas. You are the ones who are causing all this criminal behavior. That is what the army told you. And he told Bungei, tell your boys not to mess with any peaceful protesters. They have the right to protest. You have the right to protest peaceably. And that is what the Gen Z were doing peaceably. So someone may ask, when can the army intervene to bring peace? if it has been ascertained in the event William Ruto continues with his rogue nature, not respecting the will of the people, and it has become apparent that the country is ungovernable, the people are out in the streets every day because they cannot take it anymore, then in the interest of peace and stability in the Republic of Kenya, the army shall enter and tell William Samoei Ruto to step down, whether he likes it or not. Because even in that clip, it is clear that the army understands that the main provocateur, the provocation, is coming from the police forces under the order of the head of the police, who is taking his orders from William Samoei Ruto. So if this atrocity, the pogrom that is happening in Githurai and many other places, and the country becomes unstable, then the army will intervene. General Zini, one former US general, retired general, said war is an extension of politics. War is an extension of politics. Now, in this Kenyan context, when politics fails, politics is a power struggle of how we can share power, and the power is delegated within the civil discourse. Okay? If we, the people, have agreed that Mr. Ruto can no longer stay in that office because he consistently uses atavistic methods to settle scores, political scores, then we shall go to the streets and picket. We can see that the police are overwhelmed. They can't do it. It's unsustainable. The police force cannot do it anymore. They can't. So he has to call the KDF. And the KDF are telling him, now that you're calling us to deal with the protest, we came to deal with these protesters, but apparently the protesters are not the problem. It is you, William Samoei Ruto. So guess what? If this continues, somebody has to go. Somebody has to go. And guess who will be going? Guess who will be boarding? You tell me. Subscribe. Now I'm getting to the options. This is just warm up. Like the video and subscribe. Like, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Yes. Let me read your messages very quickly. Let me read it. Subscribe. Come on, just subscribe. Don't waste any time, please. A revolution is well on course. And Ruto has nowhere to stop. He cannot stop. The only thing he has to do to stop this revolution is to respect the demands of the people, the sovereign people of Kenya. So if the Gen Zs, who represent majority of the Kenyan population, demos in this constitutional republic, constitutional democracy, if the demos tell him to step down, Ruto has no option. And the army is clearly showing us that if this spills out to a point where politically it's unsustainable, then they are willing to stand with the constitution, Because even the army respects the constitution. So who is Ruto? Get that right. Understand what's happening. Stop paying attention to these nonsensical things that are happening other than what is happening in the streets. Revolution do not start at the parliament. Not this one in particular. Revolution starts on the streets. And it has already been inaugurated by the Gen Zs. Ruto had to employ his girlfriend to be the security CS cabinet secretary. Fincher said, yeah, it is viral. In fact, a mask fell off, fake humility smiling with civilians. However, an enemy is an enemy until they provide total closure and taking accountability. Ruto must go. Yes. Ras Raj anatuambia, Ja Rastafara. Judiciary has been hijacked. How can they even think of overthrowing this dude? We're not. That's a good question. Let me answer you this. If the legislative body and the executive they dissolve the parliament and Ruto ceases to be the president of the Republic of Kenya, and everyone in the legislative body has to go back to the ballot, the Chief Justice will only be there for 90 days maximum. So Koome, as much as corrupt as she may be, she will only have one mandate, single mandate, to oversee the process, the transitional process. So when Koome takes the Ninio as the head of state for those 90 days, she is to do nothing else but to oversee the process until the elections are conducted, which means within these 90 days that Koome is the head, she will make sure that a new IBC is constituted, and after it's constituted, we, the Kenyan population, are ready for the next election. And after the election, the new president shall come and take place, and the new parliament shall take place. Then, once we have a new parliament, legislative body, and a new executive, now we can look at how we can get Koome out. So to answer your question, Mr. Ras, is that when Koome takes the place of as the head of the state after Ruto has dissolved the parliament and he's gone home, and the parliament has gone home along with the legislative body, Koome will have a single mandate, and that is to midwife the process up to the next election, which will be conducted within the 90 days period. So she won't be making rulings while she is the head of state. She won't be making outlandish decisions. Her single mandate is to make sure that within these 90 days, we have a new reconstituted IBC and a new election is performed. And after that, kazi yake imekwisha. She can go back to the bench. And after we have a new legislative body and a new president, we shall look into her books and see if she's corrupt. And if she's corrupt, we shall go to JCC or the process and we shall remove her if we need to be. Rasunaelewa. So don't think that Koome, when she stays there and she's the head of the state, she'll be making decisions, you telling this is you and finance bill and what. No. Her mandate will be very clear. Only to oversee, midwife the process, the transition process. Make sure IBC is reconstituted, an election is conducted, and after that, kazi yake imeisha. And once we have the new executive and the new judiciary, a new legislative, we shall look at her books. That's what I mean. Let's go to the next camp. I'm with you, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I'm clear. Okay. Please like the video and share and subscribe to the channel. It's 112 watching with 32 likes. Thank you. Please keep liking. Please keep liking. Yes. Oh, Shabbat. So Gypsy speaking my language. Please. We have people here. Don't just watch. Like, subscribe, be part of the community. We are watching, we are living this age. God put us in this time and space and place so we can witness his greatness through the great revolution that is happening in Kenya, through the Gen Zs, the young folks who are standing like lions, telling Ruto, no, the constitution is the supreme law of the land. Not the Aden Duales and the Railas and all these useless people. You're going to say, Ruto must go. Either he like it or not. Yes, he's going. John Mwangi is telling me, the army is with the people of Kenya. Ruto must go. Yes. I agree. These police officers are goons. They are goons. Yes. You remember the old axiom? FFU, fanya fujo uone, used to be army to crush any rioters during Moi's regime. I'm glad the army of today aren't misused like that. Yes. Time has changed. You know, it used to be like, back in the day, most people were illiterate, to be honest with you. They were yes sir men. They were yes men. So anyone who's, as long as you can run 50 kilometers per hour, we're in gear army. As long as you can beat somebody or brutalize somebody, in gear police force. But things are gradually changing. These army folks, remember, most of them are also Gen Zs. They are just as young as the Gen Zs. So imagine, how can you go out there and brutalize your brother? You'll find out that these police forces, especially the ones that are brutalizing people in Githurai or wherever in Nairobi, they are not from that area. They're bringing them from other parts of Ninio. So there's no that Ninio. Policing should be, ideally the police should be somebody who is part of the community. So there's no that Ninio. Unaona? Polisi hafai kukuangalia kama wewe ni adui. And you shouldn't be looking at the police as the adui. So proper policing needs proper education, and also it's a communal thing. So if I'm part of the community and I'm a police officer, it's very hard for me to go to, if I'm from Githurai and I'm a police officer, it's very hard for me to go there and shoot Mama Mboga just because I'm pissed off about riot. Because I'll be thinking, that's my neighbor. I buy mboga from that my neighbor, Mama Mboga. Yeah? Nikiendaka kukunywa na Johnny hapo ndugu yangu hapo. So I can't just go to Githurai and shoot people indiscriminately. Ama natupatia gas, like you see that young lady who was holding a baby and try to protect the baby from the tear gas. If you're from that area, you cannot do such a thing because these are your neighbors. So they usually bring police officers from other parts of Kenya, okay, to breathe fire upon the people who are there. And now you get the situations like that. But still, yes, like the video, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thank you very much. Good year. Pastor Samson Oyango, my prayers are Ruto out for the country to what? To have amani. Absolutely. Yes. Jacqueline Och is telling you, I'm keeping up with your Aninios. Duale and Ruto killed General Gola. They have to pay a price for that in Jesus' name. Yes. Ruto is used to reward his loyalty. You know what's funny? Another angle that I'm telling you, that the reason why I'm telling you Ruto might be in deep doo-doo is that the West might get tired of Ruto. And I'm suspecting they probably are tired of him. They are going to abandon it. That is his last Ninio. That's his last defense. These Western people, if they are tired of you, kwisha. Kwisha kabisa. Once the West are done with you, mambo yako kwisha. Ruto. Get that straight. Ruto. Well, Ruto. Hey, Ruto is used to rewarding his loyalists, but time is up to explain everything wrong with Kenya under him. Jacinta Teresa is saying, Puppet Ruto is a devil worshipper. He is sacrificing young Gen Zs. God will surely remove him in power. Yes. Alex Wanyonyi is saying, let me see. What's he saying? The killer cops, what have they done with them? Amabado watasema hakuna evidence. Yeah, they're trying to play that game. JPJ, Lea wa Mukota ansema Ruto ni shetani. JPJ is saying, and it's not the 70s anymore where he could tell the West, I'm fighting communism. Absolutely. Chaos in DC, no time for Ruto. Absolutely. Nice seeing you, Bernard. Moses Lekato is saying Ruto must go or resign. Kenya is for the ordinary Kenyans. Asitumie machineries ya serikali vibaya. Yeah. Ken Keboya anakuambia, another gay trying to be relevant. Kenyans are not buying your narrative. Ruto Kumi Trash. Okay. Thank you so much for your comments. Like and share. Anyway, like I was saying, Ruto is done. So he has two options. These are the two options that he have. Ruto has two freaking options. These are the only options that he has. One, option number one. Ruto, if he wants these demos to end, the easy protest, he has to respect the demands of the people. He has to respect the demands of the people. And he has to show that he respects the demand of the people by following the constitution. That is number one. That is the only reason. And not only that, that's the first part of how he can do it. And also not only respect the demands of the people, he has to get to the root cause of why these people are on the Nino streets. The root cause of why they're in the streets. Because if it's a matter of his if he suspects that it's his political enemies that are financing this movement, then he needs to reach out to them and ask them, what do they want? If that's what he suspects, which I doubt it's the case. It might be true that there are some financiers who are financing this thing have their own goals, but he has to reach out to them. You have to reach out to the cause, the people who are financing and fueling these movements. Reach out to them. Talk to them. But he has to respect the demands of these Gen Zs. He has to. Whether it's compensating the people who died, whether it's stopping the violence, whether it's fixing corruption, whether it's all of that, cabinet, sijui nini, all of that has to be respected. For them kids to get out of the streets, these guys to get out of the, they're not kids, they're grown people. He has no option. He has to do that. You understand? That is his first option. The second option is to do what he has been doing. Try to pretend that everything is okay. Na aendelee na kichwa ngumu. Aendelee na kichwa ngumu. That is the second option. And guess what's going to happen? Because the consequence for that is very simple and it's starting to bear fruit. Everybody is going to turn against him. Everyone. Vincent is telling me, how comes in Kenya we have wonderful laws, yet none of the institution is not even 50% better? In every election, it goes to the extent of killing whoever is in the way, because people don't respect the law, the rule of law. Ni kama ni karatasi tu, nobody wants to implement it actually. But that's a good question. Moses Lokato is saying, hii shida yote ni wabunge ndio walikubali kutumika vibaya juu walisahau the rights of their voters. Absolutely. Yes. They forgot who they were working for. Hawa majamaa wanafikiria hao ndio the boss. They are not the bosses. The people of Kenya are the supreme people who have the supreme sovereign authority say on what needs to be done. That's where Ruto got it wrong. But I'm telling you, the fact that the army came in and stopped the police, that should show Ruto, hey, wakati wako umefika. And by the way, for those of you who thought that the protesters didn't reach JKIA, they actually did. They actually did reach JKIA, for those of you who are still wondering. Because I can see a lot of people who are pro-government are trying to say that, oh, they were not successful in their protest. Oh, sijui nini. They actually made it. They made it. They made it. They won't believe it. They can't believe it. Ruto will not believe it. Let me show you. Just a quick. Nilikuambia, the news nowadays is not Citizen TV, KTN, the news reporters are the people with the, what? Izoma phone, camera phones. Those are the news people. Aya. Here it is. I hope you can see it. This is when they were getting the cake.
Right now, as you can see, officers are actually chasing them out of the airport as is. This is the current situation here at the airport. Out of the airport. So maybe we will follow up on that and may keep you up to date as this story continues to develop throughout the day. Right now, as you can see, officers are actually chasing them out of the airport as is. This is the current situation here at the airport. Out of the airport.
All
so
right.
maybe
not only did this happen, these people actually banned. Walichoma ndege. Walichoma ndege. But before that, Mary Kwamboka posted something on her Twitter. She said, walizima TV, lakini watu walikuja kwa wingi. This is JKI, I believe. I know somebody asked what happened to the TV. What went wrong with the Citizen TV? Walikataa kuonyesha. Ruto aliwapigia simu akamwambia msionyeshe kitu. Msiniharibie jina hapo, msiniharibie. People showed up. Na hii ni day 1. I had this 14 days. Well, this is JK. To be fair, I think this was the CBD, but nevertheless. Did you see the amount of people who are there? Ebu niambie wewe polisi gani atasimamisha hiyo nini umati ya watu? What kind of police will stop the amount of people you see there? Sometimes, I'm telling you. Now listen to me. Hey, listen to me. This is why I'm telling you Ruto is going home. Listen to me carefully. Oh, thy servant of... Listen to me. Listen to me why Ruto is going home. Listen to me. This confrontation between the peaceful protesters and the police, now we know the police are overwhelmed, overworked, underpaid, exhausted, tired, psychologically drained. As long as these protesters keep on fingering, going out there, undermining, you know what's going to happen? Ruto will call the army. Tena. Let the army. Saidia mimi. Army, please come help us. And at some point, mnangoja link. Pole sana. Okay, let me put the link. Melchizedek, I see you want the link. Wacha niwaekee basi link. Poleni sana. For those of you who wanted to come in. Wacha niwaekee link. Naona mnataka kuingia. Haya ndio hiyo. There's the link. Museme vile mnataka kusema. You can start from where you want to say and finish where you want to say. Ndio hiyo link. Get in. Link ndio hiyo. Fungueni kamera na muongee. Anyone is invited, whether you agree or disagree. Ingieni, link ndio hiyo. Get in. Aya, ndio hiyo. So what I'm saying is, this will become unsustainable. Ruto will not be able to be deploying hawa watu every day. Melchizedek Odhiambo Amez has joined me. Melchizedek, start where you want to start. Niambie maoni yako.
Yes, habari yako leo?
Mzuri ndugu yangu. Namna gani?
Niko salama.
Naona mnasumbua Ruto sana, ako karibu kushikwa na heart attack.
Na bado. Hii ni kionjo.
What do you make of this? Army walikuja wakasema, wakaambia polisi, acheni hii mchezo ya kutupa tear gas. What's going on?
Watu wa Army walifanya kazi nzuri. Nimewapongeza sana. Yeah, because unajua polisi ni mwajinga sana. How can you tear gas someone who doesn't have anything wrong? Just maandamana kwa haki yako, nela. Polisi ndio wanakula pesa kidogo sana. Na wao ndio wanapiga tear gas ati walichukua oath gani? Hata mimi nilichukua oath.
Ulichukua oath kwani wewe ni polisi ama wewe ulichukua oath gani?
Mimi nilichukua oath ya kudeliver Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah. Nilichukua oath kwa tumbo ya mamangu.
Sasa nikuulize, hii cabinet mpya hii ya Ruto hii, naona ameweka Duale hapo, alitoa Duale. Inasemekana kwamba watu wa Army walisema hawafurahii na mambo ya Duale kuwa mkubwa wa security. Sawa, kumwambia waweke mtu mwingine. Duale ameenda na kuwa mtu wa environment. Ruto akaeka a former girlfriend.
This issue of the CS, I think Ruto is playing with us because all the one that walivuta niliwaambia maybe atarudisha yote the way things are going. Because the way I'm seeing things are running, kila mtu anaona ni kitu yenye iko open. Ulisikia vile walikuwa wanaongea kwa bunge leo?
Nilisikia kidogo. Si wote, but endelea.
Ile jamaa mwingine alikuwa leo anatoka Umabei.
Nani? ODM.
Huyo ODM. Ni kama tayari washajua wenye washachaguliwa is among them. The way alikuwa anaongea.
Niko na hiyo video.
Alikuwa anaongea na ile furaha sana.
Kaluma.
Upondo Kaluma.
Nicheze Kalume kidogo tusikie, alafu utuseme juu yake, useme ucomment. Wacha nicheze Kalume tumsikie tena ndio so you can react, others pia can react to this. Maybe they missed this part. Kalume alitoa speech nyingine hata tukashikwa na buta. Let me play this Kalume speech.
Jobs for the boys era. Article 10 sets out the values that must be infused in every decision-making process. Honorable Speaker, I'm saying this is a critical reminder to us because we are at a point in time when the nation is looking unto this house to provide the leadership it needs. Honorable Speaker, it is for this reason that last week, even as the ODM party, independent parties of Azimio also, we sat and said that the government of Kenya belongs to all of us. And Honorable Speaker, we met as ODM and we resolved it. I'm saying this because I don't want some confusion I've seen circulating. Somebody writing saying if members of the ODM party are appointed to government, they are going on their own. We met and resolved so. And Honorable Speaker, don't say no. When the ODM party speaks, even as Emio has spoken, Honorable Speaker, there is a tendency coming up in this country. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, let me explain to these people the law. Let me explain to these people the law. I will speak.
Order.
Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Honorable Jalas.
Yes. Yeah, you want to speak.
This is not a baraza in Langata. This is the House of Parliament. Go on.
Honorable, let me address, Honorable Speaker, what is in Article 232 of the Constitution. It says the public service will have the face of Kenya. All ethnic communities will be there. Persons of the gender quotas prescribed under Article 27 will be there. Honorable Speaker, as a person from an ethnic community, I will not agree to a position where people says everybody is in the government of Kenya except Luos. Yet Luos also pay taxes. Honorable Speaker, I therefore want to congratulate the President for the appointment, but request the President that within the week, as soon as tomorrow, we want to see those other appointments Baba was to forward to him. And we want all of them approved. And Honorable Speaker, if that can happen, then we are going to push this thing very fast. We cannot leave anybody out. And Honorable Speaker, let me send a warning. We want to tell people sending conflicting positions from the ODM to remember that they are on an interim position in those positions. We can remove them if we resolve a position and then they contradict it. This one has to happen for the good of the nation, and we are telling the government we are ready to serve to secure that Kenya moves properly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Hey. Eh? Sasa niambie bwana nani Melchizedek.
Umesikia vizuri. Kwanza naweza mweka kwa wale ambao walipewa 2 million kwa wale ambao walikuwa. But that's the first thing naweza sema. The second thing. Naweza sema ya kwamba unaweza enda shuleni but you lack one thing, what is called the leadership. We don't want leaders. We want the change. We cannot just take a leader who doesn't know and who doesn't understand, who doesn't speak the voice of Kenya. It is unfortunate that he's talking about Luo and is mtu alikuja ni kama unajua kikwetu kuna wale ambao walikuja nao na tunaitwa Kimera. Kimera ni wale ambao walizaliwa alafu mume wao amekuja nao. Is one of them.
Lakini unajua nini? It's a very interesting, if you listen to what he said, alisema kulikuwa na names ambayo baba aliforward, which means baba alikuanga na list yake.
And he's very proud. Maybe he's among those who are selected.
Yeah. Na sasa Sifuna naye aliandika hapo kwa ninio kwa ODM Zunyen kama Secretary General, akasema mtu yoyote ambaye ataenda kwa serikali ati anataka kiti huko kwa serikali ya William Ruto aende hapo kivyake. He is not representing any ODM or Azimio for that matter. Lakini Kaluma anasema mambo mengine.
Come to think of it, let me ask you a question. Do we have leaders that can lead Kenya apart from the oldest people that were selected from 1990s?
Yeah, I'm sure there are people who can lead this Kenya who are young and will respect the constitution and are qualified, are competent and have integrity. But the problem is I think our political class, they are very rich, that's number one, and they have influence. Wananunua kila kitu. So they do everything to maintain power within them. Sawa, watu wengine hawawezi kupata space.
Yeah, you understand today imetoka wazi ya kwamba the person who used to support Ruto so much, uliona vitu alifanya. Alafu unajua sijui watu wengine wako dunia gani Wale ambao walipewa 1000 ya mafuta na 1000 ya kuweka kwa mafuko. How can you just do this? And we need the change. Imagine how dundas, how daft are you?
Are you talking about nani? Huyu jamaa alikuwa anakimbia na Range Rover hapo wanapatia watu pesa.
Yes.
Nani? Inasemekana ilikuwa nani? Huyu governor wa Nairobi, Sakaja.
The governor, no. Former. It was a former. He's not a governor now.
They were saying it was two people. It was Sakaja and that person. I don't know what's his name. He used to be not a governor. He used to be I even forgot his name. He used to be something. MP or MCA.
In Nairobi.
Yes.
I think this side of Makadara.
Yeah, something like that. So, but they were with Sakaja and somebody else also in that Range Rover. Walikuwa napatiana pesa to come and cause chaos hapo nini or CBD when they saw then walikuwa nalipa hawa boda. So yeah.
For now, according to my suggestion or my observation as per we speak, right now lazima tukue na voice moja ambayo tukikuja hata kwa panel tunaongea voice moja ya kwamba kama tunataka ni tukiongea maneno ya Ruto means that the all part of that government we doesn't care who are you, whether you are good or bad, you have to go home and then we can make a decision after that. That's the first step that we are supposed to do. Yeah, because when we say that Ruto must go, doesn't mean Ruto only. We mean all. And that is our stand. And we will continue that because sema Ruto must go, na bado unasema at the other side that wacha tumpe time ama tumpe muda, tumechoka na watu wao. Wale ambao walikuwa kwa hiyo kiti kutoka kitambo mpaka saa hii, tafadhali saa hii sio hata ni kuomba, ni ile kitu ya tunalazimisha watoke waende nyumbani wapumzike. Hata sisi tusikie Kenya tunaweza ongoza kiasi how unaelewa. Because once these old people came out of that power, then tunaweza tengeneza nchi, kwa sababu tumesoma ya kutosha, tuko na akili ya kutosha, na tumetembea pale popote, tunajua leadership ni nini. Hawezi mtu akuje pesa aitengenezi anything. Money is nothing when there is no peace.
Yep, I agree.
Bernard aongee kidogo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bernard, karibu. My first question for Bernard before you make a submission, maybe you have something hot you want to tell us, but I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about this whole army, KDF? They are actually on people's side. Wanaambia polisi, wacheni maneno yenu bwana. You cannot lobby tear gas on residential places. And it is said that they waliambia nani ule jamaa, head of police, I forgot his name again, Bungei. Walimwambia, talk to your boys to tell them to stand down or else. That's why he went there and wakaanza kusalimia watu. But go ahead, sorry. Karibu.
Yeah, that is accurate. And also is connected to Duale being removed. Ruto did not like the way things were going. The military thing is going in the wrong direction for him. Instead of protecting him, they're protecting the people. And he was sensing that they might march to State House with the people. And Duale wasn't helping him at all. And today I had someone saying that when he appointed Duale, there were celebrations in Somalia.
Yeah, the minister.
And that, yes, they made the Somalian government, Somalian ministers made a comment about Duale. And that was making Ruto a little bit nervous because he was unable to interpret what it means. And of course, with him, with the military having so much beef with Duale because of what he was doing, it became completely risky for Ruto. But then also, by selecting Soipan, it tells us that Ruto is no longer consulting anyone. He's thinking on his own. He woke up one morning and I guess he saw a missed call from Soipan, and then he decided she's the next defense.
Well, it says that's her ex-girlfriend or current girlfriend, or I don't know.
No, I actually saw a clip today. I thought it was a joke. I saw a clip today when Ruto was actually saying that.
Yes.
Ati huyu Soipan alikuwa girlfriend yangu, siku hizi ananiambia ananiombea. I'm not sure how old that clip is. And I was shocked that he actually said that.
Yeah.
So this tells us one thing. Number one, he didn't even consult Gachagua about this. Because Gachagua put some common sense to him and tell him that's not how you do things.
Yeah.
You know, you can call Duale for the sake of stability. You can call him and tell him, hey, dude, from now on, you're not talking. I know you're defense minister, but all your job is just shut up and wait for me to tell you what to do. I don't want to see you making a press conference or making a decision or appearing in public. That's how you deal with that kind of situation. So do you maintain some type of stability image for the country? But when Kenyans start viewing you as a person who's, you know, so haphazard as the head of state, so I mean, it's quite clear the guy. I think you started the video by saying Ruto could be mad, and the lack of sleep, I think, for him,
yeah,
he's making him delirious.
So apparently, there's a video of Aden Duale who, Aden Duale wasn't happy with the change that they made. Gypsy was telling us. Let me just play it. I don't know if it's this one. I think it says the reaction after they mentioned that he wanted to be the head of security or whatever the case is, and he was not happy. I hope this is the clip, and I hope it's not that lengthy.
Of cabinet secretaries. Honorable members, Standing Order 42-1 relating to message from the President provides that the Speaker shall read to the House any message from the President delivered to the Speaker for communication to the House. In this regard, I wish to convey to the House that I have received a message from His Excellency the President notifying the nomination of various persons for appointment to the offices of Cabinet Secretaries. In the message, His Excellency the President conveys that in excess of powers conferred on him by Articles 152(2) of the Constitution, as read together with Sections 3 and 5 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act 2011, he nominates various persons for appointment to the aforementioned offices. For clarity, Article 152(2) of the Constitution states, and I quote, "The President shall nominate and with approval of the National Assembly appoint Cabinet Secretaries." The names of persons submitted to this House for approval for appointment as Cabinet Secretaries are as follows. Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Dr. Deborah Mulongo Barasa, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health. Honorable Alice Wahome, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing, and Urban Development. Dr. Julius Migos Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education. Honorable Roslinda Soipan Tuya, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Defense. Dr. Andrew Mwihia Karanja, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Order. 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 On order. Honorable Rosalinda Soipan Tuya, AGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Defense. Dr. Andrew Mwihia Karanja, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Order, honorable members. Order. Order. Honorable Aden Bare Duale, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry.
Oh.
Order. Mr. Order, honorable members, order. 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 I shall not repeat. Order. Honorable Eric Murithi.
Anyway, I guess the reaction is what's funny. Why were people so upset? Is there Bernard, can you explain this? I don't get it. Why are they upset about Duale being named the head of environment or whatever? I unmute.
Well, they're not upset. It's at the whole thing. They are just upset at how Ruto is doing things.
Oh, right. You're right. You're right. I just thought about it. Yes, because when they called Soipei, they were like, "What?"
Yeah, like everyone, it's already chaotic enough. You have a half cabinet. Raila has walked out on you, and now you are in the middle of all that. You are swapping people. Like the guy is unstable.
But he's supposed to the second batch, as he calls it, of second 11 is coming probably this week. That's why you heard Kalume akisema, please go ahead and announce this, because he said there's a list that Raila gave him that they discussed from the ODM side. So it might come this week or next week. I don't know.
That's true. Raila gave the list, but then Kalume is not saying Raila also changed his mind.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's right. I agree with him there. But what he's not completing by saying Raila is no longer interested in that position because it's not in the best interest of Kenya.
Yeah. Raila ameona moto imekuwa kali, so he's like, no, I'm not I'm not going to destroy my legacy consigning into this nonsense. So he's like, wow, okay. JPJ is saying putting your ex-girlfriend mistress as the CS for something as important as defense, especially at the time like now, is crazy, insane. That's the definition. My goodness. Ex-girlfriend. Does she even have the credentials to be an advisor on military and security of the country? This is mind-boggling. I'm telling you, like I was saying before, the reason why he appointed her is because he wants to have total control of that ministry. Because Duale might have his own ideas, whatever, or whoever else might have their own ideas how the security is in, but Ruto wants to make sure, because right now he feels threatened, especially with how the military behave themselves today, not showing total loyalty to him, his murderous cops. So he wants to make sure that the security docket is with somebody who he can trust. He can't put his wife there. He can't put Charlene there. So he has to put his girlfriend who he knows will do whatever he wants. And I think that's the reason why. That's the only conclusion I can come up with. It doesn't make sense either way. But Anyway, do you think I was saying this, is there a chance in hell that Ruto will ever reach out to maybe, I don't know, Gachagua, Uhuru Kenyatta, anybody to come help him in this situation? Because maybe these guys are financing this thing. They might not be, directly involved, but they might be telling people, we want to see this government down. So they might be providing money indirectly. Should he reach out to them? Because that's the only way he can, like I said, number one, he has to meet the demands of the Gen Z. And number two, find out who's financing this thing and reach out to them and ask them what they want. Other than that, he's out. Is there any chance he can reconcile with Uhuru Kenyatta?
I think there was a caller here 2 days ago who told you the answer is no to that.
Wow. Okay. That's
and he explained very well why.
Why is that? Oh, because of the mom thing, or what's the take cut?
No, remember, Ruto was Uhuru's vice president.
Yes.
And he refused to work completely. He was on top of his vehicle every day, going around the country. And turned, then he started turning who supporters against Uhuru. And then he chose Gachagua and Moses Kuria to attack. They were chosen by Ruto specifically to attack Uhuru Kenyatta.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are very, very serious mistakes on Gachagua, not Ruto.
Well,
so it is in the best interest of Uhuru to watch this thing implode.
Right. Wow. Anyway, we'll see how this thing happens. I can't wait to hear from the new CSs of the Ninio, from the Azimio side, if they're still going to name those. It will be interesting that what's this? I'm trying to check to see if there's any kind of new thing coming out today as far as news, but I don't see anything here.
But also remember, this whole CS thing is a complete circus. Because when the CS were first appointed, Ruto made sure that he had loyalists as permanent secretaries.
Right.
So before we started having this crisis we are in of Gen Zs, there were, in fact, I think it was the Attorney General who was saying that people are making decisions and actually publishing things without his knowledge or consent.
Right.
So whether the guy Kalume, the guy in Parliament today, is appointed, say, Minister of Finance tomorrow by Ruto, it doesn't make any difference because the PS of Finance is a guy from Ruto's side who's gonna go and cut deals and sign things where him as a cabinet secretary won't know what's going on. So Ruto has messed this thing up completely. So him using those cabinet slots as a carrot to get people to come in to support him, unless you're blind, nobody who has a basic common sense can come close to this thing. And like we were told a few years ago, this is a skunk and it's smelling bad.
Right. Very, very, very. Well, I think Kalume is just looking out for himself. Like Nani Odhiambo said, maybe akona ka stake up walimwambia we might appoint you to be a CS of something. That's why he's all excited about this, because there's, like you said, no one in his right mind will want to jump in a sinking ship. Like it just doesn't make sense. Anyway, here's a video by, who is this? It was KTN, I think.
Engaged anti-riot police in running battles. Story, and we'll be bringing you that story shortly. Meanwhile, officers from the Kenya Defence Forces were forced to leave the barracks to help anti-riot police quell protests in Pipeline Estate, located next to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, where anti-government protesters had vowed to occupy. And as Gloria Milimu reports, unlike in the recent past where the protesters have engaged anti-riot police in running battles, in Pipeline, they seemed decided to tread carefully with the military.
These were the scenes that characterized the renewed anti-government protests in Embakasi's Pipeline Estate Tuesday. The heavy deployment of Kenya Defence Forces officers, perhaps serving as a warning that the government was not taking to chance the security of the capital city's international airport, JKIA, that the youth-led protesters had vowed to occupy. Alongside the anti-riot police, the military personnel kept guard to deal with any eventuality that posed a threat to the country's main entry point. Even so, the protesters, whose patience seemed to have worn thin, attempted a march to the cordoned government facility, only to be repulsed by the officers who had blocked the busy Airport North Road they had planned to access the airport through. Within no minutes, the irate protesters turned the area located next to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport into a battlefield, engaging the security officers in running battles. They barricaded the busy outer ring road, causing a traffic snarl-up that lasted for hours before the road was eventually cleared. The officers also combed the estate for any pockets of assembly that would result in the use of alternative routes to access JKIA. Unlike the previous protests, where protesters have lost their life, the demonstrations in Embakasi did not end with any fatalities or injuries. The protests that now enter their 6th week have so far seen at least 50 people killed and more than 400 injured, according to the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. Gloria Milimu, KTN News.
Wow. Okay, so that's what KTN was telling us. But again, they didn't tell us the ile nini ya ndani, where they told us about how the army actually siding with people and telling the police not to lob tear gas on the new protesters. That's why the reason why I go with Twitter is because Twitter, you get people who are telling you the story andani of what happened. This is just KTN. Of course, they were waliambiwa seme some things to paint the government in bad light. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if the Thursday, it seems like the schedule is Kwenda State House. I don't know how that will work out. In fact, I heard it's 14 days straight. So this government, we can only pray for it to fall quickly so we can have a clean slate. I don't know what else to add. Anything else, Bernard, you have to add before I clock out here?
No, nothing. It's just that I'm happy that this thing is gaining momentum and we are close to liberation. Our country has to be free from failed leadership.
Absolutely. I agree. Let's see what comes of tomorrow, because I heard it's a 14-day ordeal. So, and the cabinet, like you said, I think Imambo cabinet is just to try to divert attention from the protest. I don't think it's something serious. I don't think Ruto really cares about he'll call all the shots. He's just using that to divert attention. But let's pay attention and see what happens. Anyway, guys, I'll wrap this up. I've been here for 1 hour, 38 minutes. Wow. I'd like to thank everyone, starting with Odhiambo, who came in here, Melchizedek, Bernard. I think he will be a senior moderator here, not senior moderator, but senior political analyst here, giving us the inside scoop on how things work with this government and other governments and politics in general. And also on the comment section, everyone, I can't name all of you, but a few, Messi M, Joy Wairimu, JPJ, everyone. You're so many I can't even I can't name it, but you know what you need to do. Please subscribe, share, comment, like, so that this video can go on the algorithm. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time if you live in the US. That's what? 11, 10, 9, 8, 8 if you live in the West Coast. 11 is what? What in 5 hours after that is what? England, in England. Whatever time it is. I'll put the thing.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. in England. 4 p.m. in England, which is what time in Kenya? 4, 5, 6, 7, I think.
7 p.m. 7 p.m. in Kenya.
7 p.m. Yes, I usually have double sessions. 11 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. An hour at least. So I will try to get people. I usually catch different people when I come in early. So I'll come in at 11 tomorrow and see who will join me, and also evening too. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. Please subscribe again. Subscribe. I impugn you. I ask you. subscribe, share, like, comment, and all that good stuff. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bernard, thank you so much for contributing. I'll see you here tomorrow as usual. Thank you, and have a good night, good evening.
See you tomorrow.
All right, thanks.